Well, let's go live to Israel now, and joining us is the former head of the Israeli Defence Forces Intelligence Research Division, Yossi Kuperwasser. Yossi, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us. First of all, the threat so far, and we heard this from the current IDF spokesperson, the threat has been neutralised. So they believe that there are no more Hamas terrorists or militants who are now in Israeli territory. Some are trying, presumably coming through the vast underground networks of tunnels, but they have been fought back. Are you of the opinion that that would be the case, that that threat has now passed, at least on the ground?
Well, by and large, yes. There are not that many terrorists still operating there. We have to understand, we were facing an invasion of something like several hundred terrorists, bloodthirsty, that wanted to kill as many Jews as possible within the time that was available for them. Within the first 5 hours, they killed several hundred Jews, and thereafter they kept coming in all kinds of places, taking hostages, killing savagely all kinds of targets, innocent civilians mainly. This was a terrible thing, and some of them are still there. Some of them are still moving around. We have killed already several hundreds of them and arrested several dozens of them, but still we cannot be sure that nobody is left.
Okay.
What we can say is that we are in control of the territory, of all of the territory, and that we have managed to close most of the areas through which they were crossing from Gaza to the communities around Gaza.
Yossi,
that has been...
sorry to interrupt. As a former IDF intelligence, a member of IDF intelligence, how would you describe the failure of intelligence services by, these militants being able to simply come across into Israeli territory and do what they did? It's
a terrible failure. It's worse than what we did in '73. As a matter of fact,
So how did that happen?
That we have in our intelligence, we sometimes have terrible failures, and this failure is made of 3 levels. First of all, we didn't understand. We forgot what Hamas is all about. We forgot that this is a fanatic radical Islamic organization committed to killing the Jews in Israel, and that's the purpose of its being. And we thought that because it is deterred, or was deterred for a while, and because it was trying to improve the conditions of the people living in Gaza under Hamas, we can rest assured that they are not going to carry out more terror attacks, heinous as they may be. And this was a major mistake, because Hamas is a terror organization, first and foremost. It's a jihadic organization. And secondly, we didn't follow well enough the process of learning that the Hamas was involved in, together with Iran, or under the auspices of Iran, and together with Hezbollah, in order to improve its capabilities after what happened in 2021. We fought against Hamas in 2021. We managed to find a solution for the rockets. We managed to find a solution for the tunnels. We managed to find a solution for the UAVs. So they had to work out something new, and we didn't understand what is this new thing going to be looking like. And we had an opportunity to see what they were planning for all this time. Right. And thirdly, we had a terrible failure in identifying the terror attack when it was coming. All of that were major intelligence mistakes. But we put that aside at this moment in Israel, and we focus on winning the war that was forced upon us, because we cannot allow ourselves to come back to the situation we were at until October 7th. So the new situations that prevail in Gaza has to be different.
Sorry, Yossi. No, I mean, how these things usually go is, you launch a multitude of strikes and take out key assets in Gaza City, but then usually a ground invasion, comes afterward, or not usually, sometimes. So would you expect, because this is the most significant attack in Israeli territory for such a long time, that a ground invasion would come in a matter of days?
I think so. We have to create a situation where the Hamas cannot rearm itself. That's the most important thing. And in order for us to make sure that they cannot rearm themselves, the best way to do it is taking control of most of the unpopulated areas in Gaza and some of the populated areas, so that we shall be able to make sure that they do not rearm themselves. That is the most important thing, and I think that in this respect we shall see ground operation. After we do that, if necessary, if we see that this is not enough, we may enlarge the operation and do some more work in the populated areas. It's not that we like that very much, but if there is a necessity, we shall do that as well.
My problem now, you've got the threat from Lebanon now, and
rearming of Hamas.
Yeah, just finally, I mean, you got Lebanon and Iran now, which goes to show that the threat is more widespread this time.
Definitely. What Hamas did was done not only as a Palestinian terror organization, but also as Hamas is a member of the Iran-led terror axis, and they cooperate very closely with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, of course, but also with Hezbollah and Iran. They already thanked Iran for the weapons they gave them, for the money they gave them, for any kind of support. I think it was also guidance, because the way they operated looks very similar to Iranian tactics. And I think this was definitely part of a wider operation in which Hamas is the spearhead. Now, we have to, of course, be ready to confront the other elements of this axis. And that's why we mobilized many of our reservists, and we are deployed along the border in the north. That was already, even today, experiencing some terror attacks from Hezbollah. And the Iranians are in the background. And yes, we have to be on alert because many other things can develop. But the first and foremost target and goal that we have is to make sure that Hamas suffers a heavy blow, that makes sure that it cannot rearm itself in the future. This is going to be a message to Iran, to Hezbollah, and to the entire Middle East, that the best way to move forward towards a better Middle East is to cooperate with Israel and not to try to kill Israelis.
Okay. Yossi, Kuperwasser, appreciate your time. Thank you so much.